The tower is coming down, but Grenfell survivors and bereaved are not happy with the demolition decision.
It was a car crash meeting. I haven't seen a politician ruin a relationship so quickly. The families of the people whose DNA is embedded in that concrete, their voices haven't been heard. They haven't been able to have that consultation, have that conversation about what that looks like.
Karim Masili lost his uncle Hesham in the fire. Along with relatives of the 72 who died in the tower, he met with the Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner last night. She said after consulting with families, she decided to demolish Grenfell to the ground. But that's disputed.
One of the bereaved family members stood up and spoke and said, everyone raise your hands if you've been consulted and you agree with what Angela Rayner said. Nobody, not one single person did. We then said to Angela, here's your families right here. And none of them have spoken to you. You know, this at least speak to 60% of the family. This is something that we said to her last year. As a minimum, speak to 60%. And we said the 60% is right here in the room. And none of them agree with you or have spoken to you about your decision.
In truth, there aren't many bereaved and survivors who wanted the entire 24 floors to remain standing, but it was hoped that maybe 1 or 2 floors or even the lobby would remain as a memorial to what happened.
It needs to be a standing memorial, but done with class and taste and with everyone behind it.
It's very upsetting that it will be taken down, but we want to make sure and try to make sure it stays as long as possible, because there is still outstanding prosecution that needs to be done.
The government says, as it stands, Grenfell has many structural issues. The tower's being held up by approximately 6,000 props, and its maintenance is projected to cost £340 million by the time it comes down.
Obviously a decision's got to be made. The Deputy Prime Minister will be setting that out tomorrow, so we'll see the full details of that. But I think first and foremost we do need to always have in our mind's eye the victims in this terrible, terrible tragedy.
When the 10-year anniversary comes for Grenfell, there'll be no Grenfell Tower. And I think that doesn't sit very well with a lot of people.
At the top of the tower, a message to the Grenfell dead. Forever in our hearts. This will eventually go, but a lasting memorial will still be needed.
Well, Rags is in North Kensington for us this evening. Rags, that official government statement expected tomorrow.
That's right, Lucrezia. We've actually heard very little from Angela Rayner, apart from that demolition decision. But we have got this statement from the government on her behalf. They say the Deputy Prime Minister has considered expert information about health and safety, mental health and well-being. I think in truth, many people probably expected the tower to come down eventually in some shape or form. But the way the announcement was made, razed to the ground in one go, and the seemingly very poor consultation with bereaved and survivors has not gone down well here at all. We'll hear from Angela Rayner tomorrow. I expect there'll be some bridge building needed as well.